The Lord is my rock, my fortress and my deliverer, my God is my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Psalm 18:2. Psalm 18:2 verse establishes God as an immovable, defensive structure designed to keep you safe from external harm. When David writes this, he is declaring that his safety is not found in his own strength, but in the impenetrable nature of God's character. Applying this to your life, it means that when you feel vulnerable or exposed by the loss of a relationship, you are actually being ushered behind a divine wall. God is not just observing your heartache, He is actively acting as your fortress. He identifies the threats, the character flaws, the future incompatibility, or the emotional drain that you cannot see, and He positions Himself between you and that person to prevent you from being compromised. The fortress is not meant to keep you lonely. It is meant to keep you whole until the right time. You know this feeling. It is the hollow ache in your chest when someone you thought was the one slowly fades away. It is the confusion that keeps you staring at your phone at 3 in the morning, wondering why God is silent when you are pleading for clarity. You feel rejected. You feel overlooked. You feel as though your prayers for companionship have fallen into a void. But what if that silence is not a rejection? What if that fading connection is not a failure on your part, but a fortress being built around your heart? What if the person you are chasing is actually the bullet God is dodging for you? Stick with me until the very end of this video, because you need to understand exactly how God communicates these signs so you can stop fighting His protection and start embracing your peace. Number 1. The constant friction. The first sign is the draining nature of the connection. Every conversation feels like a negotiation. You walk on eggshells to avoid triggering a mood shift. You suppress your true self to maintain the peace. Relationships meant for you should sharpen you, not wear you down to a nub. When you find yourself constantly justifying someone else's lack of effort, you are witnessing the friction of two lives that were never meant to be fused. As it is written in 2 Corinthians 6:14, "Do not be yoked together with unbelievers. For what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness?" This verse speaks directly to the misalignment of souls. When you are unequally yoked, you are pulling in opposite directions. The friction you feel is not a challenge to be overcome. It is the spiritual reality of two people trying to build a foundation on shifting sand. God allows this exhaustion so you eventually grow too tired to keep holding onto a rope that is only burning your hands. The friction is a mercy. It is the discomfort that prevents you from settling for a life that would eventually bankrupt your spirit. Number 2. The internal unease. You know the feeling. It is that quiet, nagging voice in the pit of your stomach that refuses to be silenced by rationalization. Your friends might tell you that he is great or that she is beautiful, but your spirit remains troubled. You find yourself praying for peace, yet every time you move closer to this person, the peace retreats further away. This is the Holy Spirit acting as a guardian. Think of the story of Rebekah, who was sought out to be the wife of Isaac. There was a divine orchestration that brought them together, a path paved with peace rather than frantic pursuit. When God is in a union, the doors open with a gentle push. When you are forcing a door, you are likely trying to enter a house that God has already condemned. That unease is your internal compass responding to a spiritual danger you cannot yet see. Trust it. If the joy is forced, the relationship is fragile. Number 3. The pattern of closed doors. Perhaps you have tried everything to make this work. You have changed your schedule to accommodate them. You have lowered your expectations. You have forgiven slights that you should have addressed. Yet, despite your best efforts, the path remains blocked. The plans you make fall through. The communication drops off. The future you envisioned remains a mirage. Proverbs 16:9 tells us, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." You are trying to plan your course, but God is establishing your steps by literally moving the ground beneath you. Every closed door is a redirection. Imagine a father standing in front of his child to prevent them from walking into a dark alley. He does not explain his reasons, he simply stands firm and blocks the path. The child cries, wanting to explore the darkness, not realizing the danger lurking within. Your closed doors are the physical manifestation of God's protective stance. He is keeping you from the alley so you can eventually walk down the path that leads to your true destination. Number 4. The loss of your personal vision. You have a calling. You have dreams, passions, and a purpose that existed long before you met this person. A true partner should be a companion on that journey, not an anchor that holds you to the harbor. If you notice that since meeting this individual, your dreams have been relegated to the background or worse, abandoned entirely, then you are in the wrong place. I remember speaking with a woman named Sarah, who had sacrificed her entire career and her deep desire to serve in her local ministry because her partner viewed her aspirations as a threat to his ego. She felt like she was shrinking. Every day she felt smaller, quieter, and less like herself. This is the danger of a wrong partnership. It requires the atrophy of your soul. When you find that you are trading your God-given purpose for the approval of a person, you are in a trap. God protects you by causing that relationship to fail because He refuses to let your destiny be sacrificed on the altar of temporary affection. Take a moment to breathe. If you have felt this shift in your own life, the feeling that your light is dimming to keep someone else comfortable, drop a "I choose my purpose" in the comments below. Your story might be the encouragement someone else needs to hear today. Number 5. The revelation of character flaws. Finally, there is the slow peeling back of the mask. God is the master of exposure. He will not let you walk into a lifetime contract with someone who hides their true nature. The small lies, the lack of integrity, the way they treat the waiter, the bitterness they hold toward others. These are not small flaws. They are glimpses into your future reality. In Numbers 32:23, we are reminded, "But if you fail to do this, you will be sinning against the Lord, and you may be sure that your sin will find you out." God is faithful to reveal what is hidden. He will bring circumstances to the surface that force this person to show you who they really are. You might be angry that you wasted time discovering these flaws, but look at it from a different perspective. You are not wasting time. You are being saved from a future of brokenness. The revelation is the exit sign. The exposure is the grace of God giving you the evidence you need to walk away with your dignity and your future intact. Your current situation, the heartbreak, the rejection, the lonely nights are your preparation. If God gave you everything you wanted right now, you would not be strong enough to handle it. You are being refined. You are being pruned. You are being positioned for something that does not require you to diminish yourself. Do not despair because a chapter has ended. The book is not finished. God is a God of restoration. He does not take things away to leave you empty. He takes them away to make room for what is actually compatible with the life He has called you to live. As you move forward, anchor your soul in the promise of Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. This verse is the perfect antidote to the exhaustion of a failed relationship. Notice that God is explicitly called the God of hope. He is not just a source of hope, He is the origin of it. When you feel drained and empty from the friction of a wrong connection, He promises to refill you, not just with enough to get by, but until you are overflowing. This means your capacity for joy is not dependent on a human being. It is sustained by the Holy Spirit. That future you are walking toward is not tied to the person who walked away. It is not tied to the relationship that failed. It is anchored in the one who loves you with an everlasting love. The Creator of the universe is invested in your happiness, and He is far more protective of your heart than you are. Trust that He is moving behind the scenes, rearranging circumstances, and preparing your heart for the person who will celebrate your light instead of fearing it. The pain you feel today is temporary. The protection you are receiving is eternal. Walk forward with your head held high, knowing that every no from this world is a yes to your divine destiny. If this message resonated with your spirit, I encourage you to share your testimony in the comments below. Let us lift each other up and celebrate the freedom that comes from trusting God's redirection. Remember to subscribe to this channel for more encouragement on your journey to alignment. Stay patient, stay faithful, and keep your eyes on the one who loves you best.